Hello everyone. In today's video, we will talk about a simple strategy that can be implemented in several ways. You may have seen it before, but not in the way and settings that we will talk about today. First, make sure that your chart is on 1 hour frame. Now let's open the indicators box. In the search field, type moving average. From the results, choose the first moving average indicator. Now open the indicator settings. Head to the input and change the length to 100. We have talked in previous videos about the benefit of the 100 moving average indicator, especially with 30 minutes and 1 hour frames. When the candles are above it, we consider that the trend is in an uptrend, and when it is below it, we consider it in a downtrend. But let's add another indicator that helps us identify these trends. In the search field, type EMA ribbon and choose the first one, which created by FS Crypt. Now open EMA settings and go to Style. Change the first color to green, and I'll tell you why. And that's all we need now, some colored lines that will help us identify the entry and exit points. Simply, when EMA lines break through the moving average line from bottom to top, we look for entry points, long positions. And when the opposite happens, we look for short positions. But as we know, these things are easy to understand and difficult to apply. When you see the chaos here, you will discover that talking is always easy, but application needs much more and more. For this reason, we do not use static images in our channel, and we don't put a single example, but we prefer to use real charts in order to stop all the problems that we may encounter when trading. Well, let's start with an easy example, and let's say we've been trading somewhere here. Now let's run the player and look for the perfect entry point. Here, at this candle, it will be the entry point, but let me repeat it so that we understand more. Here, when the green EMA line crossed the blue moving average line from bottom to top, we will determine the entry point, and it will be at the first green candle above these lines. The order of the EMA lines should be as follows: the green line at the top and the red line at the bottom. As for the intersection, it should be as follows: the green line should cross the blue moving average line from bottom to top. But how can we buy from this candle? The answer is, we will not enter from this candle, but we will enter directly above it. When entering from the middle of this candle, the price may rebound down, but when entering above it, we will ensure that we have crossed the price retracement area, which is the area between the body of the candle and the end of the wick. Since this candle has exceeded the required price, we will enter from here. Always wait for 1 or 2 candles as a maximum, and if the entry price has not reached after them, cancel the deal and wait for another. As for taking the profit, we will depend on the previous tops, like this one here. There are several ways to stop losses and take profits. You can watch previous videos to learn more. Since there is no candle close by with a lower wick, and since this candle is a little long, we will rely on its end to set our stop loss. Let's run it and see what happens. Well, here we hit the first target. But as we said, this is the easiest part of this strategy. For this, let's dig a little deeper and look for the more complex places like this area here. Okay, let's say we were trading somewhere here. All we want is to wait for EMA's lines to cross the blue moving average line from bottom to top. Some candles may deceive you when they break the moving average line, but you must wait until you see the green EMA line above the rest of the lines, and you see it cutting the moving average line from the bottom to top. Here, we notice that the green line begins to rise above the rest of EMA lines, but we must wait until we see it cross the blue moving average line. We don't see any intersection here. But here, under this candle, we can see that the green line has clearly cut the moving average line from bottom to top. In the same way, we will enter above this candle. As for taking profits, it will be near the level of the resistance candles, here. The stop loss will be under the wicks of the nearby candles, like this one here. Okay, let's run the player to see the next candle movement. That's good, the target was hit here too. Let's move quickly to find another example that is different from the previous two. Here, in this area, we notice that the candles have crossed the moving average line heading downward, but the EMA lines are still above it. But the question is, how do we deal with this movement? In these retracements, we wait until we see the green line rise above the rest of the lines, and then we look for another entry point. Here, we see the formation of a green candle above the EMA lines, but the green line is still below the other lines, so it is a false signal, and we will not enter from here. Here too a false signal, because the green line is still below the rest of EMA's lines. Here too is another one. But what about this green candle here? Here is the beginning of the green line at the top, but it is not clear, so we do not enter, because the signal must be clear. As for here, the green line appeared clearly, but the candle above it is red, also considered a false signal. Here too, the candle is red, so we will not enter. Before we continue, let me talk about this candle here, which was not clear by the appearance of the green line. Suppose we mistakenly decided to enter directly above it, but as you can see, this will not work, because the next two candles did not cross the line that we drew above it, and this is a good thing, because in this way we can avoid the wrong entry sometimes. Okay, let's look for another opportunity. Here, at this candle, it looks like a good entry point. All the EMA lines are above the blue moving average line, the green EMA line has become the top line, and the red line has become the bottom line, and we also have a green candle here. Yes, we will enter here, above this candle. As for the take profit, it will be at this resistance candle. And the stop loss will be below the wick of the nearest candle. And we took the profit at this candle here. I think we have covered many of the hurdles that we may encounter when trading this way, but you should know that crossover signals like this one that happened here are better and more accurate than the bound signals we talked about in this area. But what about the shorts in this strategy? Entering into short positions is the exact opposite of entering into long positions. But let's see this example here. As we can see, here the crossover occurred from top to bottom. But let's replay it again. Here we see a red candle, which is a good sign, but when we see the EMA lines, we will notice that the green line is still above, and this is not good, because when entering into short positions we need to see the data in reverse, and we need to see the green line as the lower line. Here the green line has become the bottom line, but the candle below it is green, so we won't enter as well. But here, all indicators are good, the green line is the bottom line, and below it, there is a red candle, and all these signs are below the moving average line. Here, we will enter a short position. Several methods can be used to stop loss and take profit, as we explained earlier, because this thing in particular does not depend on one strategy, but there are several factors that must be focused on in taking profit and stopping loss. To learn more, you can find a video explaining all this in our channel. Finally, what would happen if we added a bullish Arami indicator to this strategy? We will simply get new and more accurate signals, like this yellow candle here. Also this one here, there are many of them, and if you want to know how to use these candles, just tell me in the comments, and I will add another part to this video in the coming days. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Good luck.